Yo, yo, yo. So, mic check one, mic check two. Sessions with your God, wRob Beatz. What it do? So, just trying to make sure that you can see me good and clear. Got my mic on blue. Let's put it on white. Let's see. Is that better? All night. Looks like. I've been up and down today, y'all. So, you know, if I'm on my travel, on my walk, and my way of healing and my mode, I'm still healing, y'all, but that's how it be sometimes. Sometimes I can see, sometimes it's clear as day, sometimes it's not. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's just what it is. But most I can see a whole lot better than I was 8, 9, 10 months ago. God is a huge blessing in that. I said my biggest testimony, left in my binos, them white doctors. You know, that's what can we expect from them. Y'all gonna be hearing a whole lot more on that for me and from me. They always talking about us, but we never talk about them. And we don't talk and put things into perspective. So I will be doing that. I'm the hugest testimony. I have so much to get out and to let people know about that's been going on with me. And you guys, if you don't know, like I said, that's why I say we're God. I'm God in the human flesh. You're God in the human flesh. So it's a we thing. I'm not operating in I don't operate in the me. So I operate in the we. So what I'm doing is by sharing my story, I'm sharing it to we. If you don't know this thing, blah, blah, it ain't got nothing to do with me. It does. If you hurting, I'm hurting. If I'm hurting, you hurt. You may not fully accept that, but you hear people like Diddy hurt saying it and like million and billionaires saying because they started to go and overstand. God is putting in my spirit today. That's kind of what we want to talk about, multidimensional beings. How we're great multidimensional beings. I came into this earth as a new soul. You know, I may have been here before, but I'm looking at my son, they say he hasn't. So we're still trying to figure things like that out on our spiritual walk. Whether we've been here before, because if we do come back here, was I already here, or like I said, was certain people here? So with that being said, Spirit is showing me that we all come here, y'all. We come here to discover and see and be what we want to be, literally. So that's why you have so many things in life and so many people in life trying to tell you what to be. You can't let no one convince you with any of that. Do my best not to use curse words because I want to keep this in a high and light work. So we don't need to let anyone have us being anything other than we want to be, who we're truly supposed to be. And that's what I'm going to today. So Spirit gave that to me on my walk. We come onto this earth, we come onto this plane, and we see that thing's the same. We do a lot of rhyming today, y'all. That's where the Spirit is at. We come onto this thing, we come onto this plane, and we see things are the same. As a young child, it's in you that you can figure out what you want to do. Let me explain it. So for me, let me explain the whole concept first. There are problems here on earth, and you're sent here to solve them. That's point blank, period. So me seeing as a young child, coming in, I saw how the world was. I saw that my father, he was a crackhead at the time, crack dealer. Thank God he's rid of that, and he ended up going to the church and things. That was his way of deliverance, him and my family. So I pride him on that. But me coming into it, seeing how it was, I was able to accept that as a child. That's another thing I'm talking about. Let children see how it is. Children not dumb. Let's stop treating them dumb. Let's start treating them like children in the world telling us. I treat our young king, his name is a king. I treat him like a king. He's the king of this house. I'm the God of this house. My wife is the goddess. That's how we operate. We don't let anyone put us or tell us what to be, a man or a boy, any of these things. No. So King is not a little boy. He's not a little baby. We keep him and treat him as a man. Not as though a man responsible, great responsibility. He doesn't pay any rent or anything. But we treat him in his godness and his manness, what he's showing us. So with that being said, I personally came here, as I'm going to do, as y'all see. You know what I'm saying? I'm always doing something. I'm always getting to something. I came here and I realized these things unconsciously as a child. I'm realizing now as a 34-year-old adult. 34 years young. I don't say we get old, we get younger. Because we didn't, once again, that's what I'm explaining as well. They say we get older as we get older. We come into this thing new. So we came here with never, even if we've been here before, we come here on a new slate. So everything is new to us. I don't get 24 years older or 34 years older. I get 24 years younger in this life because everything from this point is still new, right? So I'm getting younger and younger. They teach you this thing so you can think and getting older. We not like albinos. We don't get wrinkles and stuff. I'm 34 years old. People tell me I'm 24. I be looking at myself and feel like I'm 19 still. So that's the truth about us. We're going to be always about us, y'all. Tell our truth. We don't age and things like that. Even if we eat the bad stuff, y'all, we can for a little bit and you start back good and you can fix that. So coming onto earth, you can see what problems there were. Me personally, I saw that, okay, my father was where it was. Then he changed up and went to the church. Okay, first of all, he's showing me that you can change already as a child. Then he went to the church. I then wanted to support him in that. So when me wanted to support him in that, I then saw, what can I do here on this plane? He rose, and I'm growing up as a little child. I'm like, man, okay, let me go get on that piano over there. You just starting the church, you need a musician. Let's go. So you seeing, and that's what I'm at, and we're going to go back and forth. We're not just sitting here to somebody tell you what your gift or you blah, blah, blah. You define, you design what you are. You are literally God over your entire life. That's the biggest thing. If you can release and let people stop being God over your life, like I have, and that's what we're going to talk about. Like, that's my wife, and I'm truly God over my life. I have been for years. Once I realized it, y'all, I've been doing it, I've been being it and walking in it. And you can too. That's why we're going to go through all of this. We're going to take control of our lives, y'all. 2023 is the year of the 7. It's the year of completion. Everything's complete, and it's turning around for us. And we can, and we don't must be, because we don't have to be. You don't get it this time around. Like I said, that's a God. God is so merciful and graceful. You know what I'm saying? So, it's the year to really get it if you can. 7, it's also the year of Aquarius. We're in the year of information. I am Aquarius. That's all I've been doing all my life, spreading information. I get the information, I disseminate it out. You know what I'm saying? So you understanding the way I'm explaining it to you would be great. You know, this is the way God gave it to me. We were sent here, and then we pick up things. So I saw that was the issue. Okay, we lack the musician in church. I became a musician. That was like the first 10, 20, 30 years of my life. I'm 34 still. But I also picked up, okay, we need to tell our story. And we can do that through animation and film. Why animation and film? Love, when I went to LA and before I left for LA, guys started showing and planting these things in me. Albinos, white people have brainwashed us, literally. The biggest thing when we came out of slavery is that how we were still enslaved was in our mind. The way we think about it, they beat us and have us down solo. Like I said, be walking around calling these niggas and bitches and hoes. That's none of what we are. I'm God. I meet every person I meet. Peace, God. Peace, goddess. I dress you in a high. Why? Because I'm living in that. And you got to understand, this is the biggest thing someone can say. Why must one walk around and call one God? Because I'm only enlightening you and true to you in a way that I see and respect myself. See, I had to get to the point where I got to get to the point. You know, I love Kevin Gates. We ain't had to. It's a blessing. I got to get to the point where I could realize and understand I was God. Talking about stuff, me and my wife were going to tell our story, but I ended up putting my hands on my wife. Tripping from PTSD and all this. And I had childhood trauma and military trauma. But I was able to fix it. She forgave me and everything. I was able to see myself sitting in jail. I was like, what? I put my hand on my wife, and then my son saw that, which fucked me up, y'all. You know what I mean? He didn't understand what's happening. He was real young, but still saw that. God sitting in, while I'm sitting in my cell. That was God I touched. That was the goddess of my life I touched. That's the God, the young king in my life, my son. That's God. The same God that's talking to me is in them. So I'm touching and doing this stuff to God. When God did that to me, I snapped up. I don't ask for therapy and everything, y'all. That was a few years ago, but I made it through all my therapy, physical therapy, mental therapy, all that stuff. And I fixed myself. Like I said, even for my diseases, I fixed myself, y'all. So that's the biggest thing. That's what happens with disease as well. So that's what I'm just sharing with you guys. I brought my wife down to the level of a bitch. I was sitting here thinking that some of the things she was doing is that, and I started calling her that and mistreating her. I wasn't necessarily the person who was walking around, no, but it was certain little conversation. I was like, babe, you was a bitch right here. That's not the word to call her. She was just being and doing herself. But after me realizing us going through all these talks and all this growth, we were able to realize this stuff. So going back to what I'm saying is, we were brainwashed. This lifestyle and all that shit was pushed on us. That ain't us. None of that is us. Multiple sclerosis, it's a white person's disease, an albino's disease. These people caught all the diseases, and what they did, they put them on us. So as we always do, we find all the cures. We fix things and we go above and beyond. And then what we do, we'll go sell all that shit for free. No, don't do that ever again in your life. I'm not selling nothing for free. But as y'all saying, I got in a car accident, I ain't doing nothing in my life for free. We'll work with you and make deals. People like, well, we working with you right now, so I'm doing deals. I will work with you where you are. But we're not gonna hold that standard down and hold ourselves to where they want us to be anymore. You dig? Like, that's not where it's at, y'all. And like I say, if you need help, we're gonna watch these videos and I'll show you how. Because I'm gonna talk you through everything I've been through. You know, I've been through every level of it. And that's what we're gonna talk about, the multidimensional being. So understand that's who you are. You come into this life, you're a multidimensional being in your thoughts, in your mind, body, and spirit. So you can actually think on transcends on multiple dimensions. Thinking about that. I can sit here right now, somebody sit here mistreating me. I can be in my head, be like, man, I wish they could treat me better, or man, this person tripping or something. I'm in another dimension, creating another reality, creating another thought, while I'm still sitting here. I'm transcending, though, right there in the same time. Lord, we are multi-dimensional beings, meaning that your thoughts, your different pathways, those different chances and possibilities can happen, those are different dimensions. That'd be another dimension, and unless we're going to go through the dimensions, how does it look? You're going into this dimension, and things look like this. So you're creating that thought, oh, this nigga hate me, or this bitch hate me, or whatever. Oh, they love me. You're creating that. So guess what you have to go to that dimension. Thinking, oh, I think that bitch like me, I think that nigga like me. You putting into that dimension, the dimension that was created. You're playing into that field that these crackers gonna create it. And then we're gonna sit here and say these things, and we're taking that stuff that they thinking that they're pushing on us for our life. We don't know what these bitches and hoes and all these people are. We don't know how and why somebody would be thinking us putting something on somebody. Let's share that as well. What I learned that I was doing to my wife and she was doing to me. If I'm going around thinking something in my head, most of that somebody has pushed on you, I'm sitting here dealing with her and addressing her in that way. So I'm pushing that shit on her. So what does she have? No choice to act like a bitch. She ain't got no choice but to act like a hoe. I ain't got no choice but to act like a nigga when my wife just sit here looking at me like I'm a nigga. I'm not a nigga, I'm a god. You know what I'm saying? So that's where we at with it. If we continuously can see these things and resolve the issues that we are at and fix our own personal issues daily, like that's the biggest thing, not push ourselves on nobody else. Y'all, we don't came up. We don't transcended them. We don't transcended what they're doing to us. And that's where we can come, and that's going to be the complete love. So that's what you see. I'll explain it once again why I say I'm a God and why I say I'm God mode. God to me is complete love. It's complete love, y'all. I'm not hard on myself or nothing. Like I said, other night, got car accident, car skid out the road. First thing I heard from my wife and the young guy who just picked me up on the side of the road, take me home, and after a car accident, bro, it's good, it's gonna be all right. So we can't, man, I just got it, hard, hurting and killing myself, down on me. I don't do that, y'all. I don't type that derogatory language to myself. You out there doing it to yourself, you can stop it today, you watching this. We don't do those things to ourselves. We don't have to. We never were really doing that stuff in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? That stuff was pushed on us, and then we started to reciprocate those things. So, with that being said, you don't have to act this way. You don't have to believe this way or do, or, you know what I'm saying? Oh. You don't have to act this way. You don't have to respond that way. You don't have to respond. You don't have to act that way. You don't have to respond this way. When things happen to you, the biggest thing what we can do is, Spirit tell me lastly, the biggest thing that helped me, it didn't hurt me, it helped me. To not always yell and be in y'all's head. That's the biggest thing. We come out of our head and see things as they are, not as we want them to be. A lot of times in life, we're seeing things as we want it to be. These white people wanting the world to see, they putting this shit in the sky. They're pumping and dumping it on us. They want us to be suffering as much as them. It's not my fault that you have the genetic makeup that you do and that you're running around doing what you do. That's your ancestors did that stuff to y'all. So they're out here pumping shit in the sky to make us live bad. They're in here doing this stuff financially, that money thing, that's why it's dying. They doing everything, making everything about money, because take away the money. What can they do? Nothing. What can we do? Everything. So you take away the money system, you take away all the stuff, how they disadvantage us as much as they can, which they can't. This camera almost, somebody like, oh, white man made this camera. A white man didn't make this camera. We made everything on this earth, y'all. This is a microphone. A black man made it originated, you know? The production and the spending of the money, who got the money? The white people. So they probably can't, you know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. Let's be real in our reality. It's okay to stand up right now. As you see, I'm bold with it. I'm not out here yelling and screaming and trying to do anything and come back. No, that's not me. I'm really just standing up and talking our life and our reality. So in the talking to life of reality, we start to create our reality, create things as though we want them to be. That's what I was able to do for myself and my family. You know what I'm saying? And when I did that, like I said, we literally live in our reality. As you see, I'm in Raw Sound Studio, our studio, where wearing a Raw Sound Animation and Films t-shirt. I created this whole reality. And then thank God I met my wife and she walked into it and helped me accomplish it. So I had ideas in myself, but I couldn't make the shirts. And then I learned to make the shirts with her. I design my own clothes as well. But she learned it. So we started walking into this reality. We started creating. We create everything that's for us. We got our son's cartoons coming up. Y'all look for it. King at 2. It's called King's Playhouse. So in this, y'all, I'm gonna be continuously sharing how we created our own reality and how you can too. But the best way and the most easiest way we can get there is not by hard and not by force. It's by acknowledging and admitting a lot of things. It may make you cry. I've cried a lot. I've let go a lot of stuff. It's a lot we get to let go because you cannot bring that stuff with you. It does not serve you anymore. It does not operate in that mindset. You be like, well, where do I go from now? I just feel like I'm out here floating. That's been me going on, I don't know how many years, y'all. The last time I worked for the United States government or for somebody else was 2015. I worked for Comcast. I haven't had a job since 2015, that type of job. I created for myself. I do Lyft, I do Uber, I do Amazon. There's so many ways I had to make money. 2015, y'all. I am disabled. So people like, I'm 100% disabled. I just started getting out from the military a few years ago. But I was in 2015, probably 8, 9, 10 years, I was taking care of myself. They finally started helping, but it's still not sufficient enough just to run our business and do my family and live my life. It's not. It's not. You know what I mean? Y'all can call what y'all call, but that's the biggest thing as well. So we're always out here working and learning and growing from a small standard. I already got it wrote down. I was like, so when we get reparations, because we will, we're going to get what we are owed. I was looking at people should get $8,000 every cycle. We don't call it a month, I call it a cycle. Doesn't women cycles every 28 days? So we get to change these things. So monolith cycle, that's something else that they got on. So we're on the cycle. Every 28, that every black person should be getting should get 8,000. But then I added up, y'all, that's still like 96,000. Nah, ain't some of these crackers out here making 100, 150, ain't doing shit. Cause they running the numbers. They can create the law. They doing all the shit they doing. So I'm looking for like at least about 200,000 for every person a month. A year, you know what I'm saying? Cause then we can actually live. I can invest in my business. I can live and be a person, which I am. But we're the only person. I get this out as y'all, and I'm gonna repeat some of the stuff I heard, and that's facts. But throughout history, they sitting here treating you like a half of a person, 3/4 of a person. We're a whole person, body, being, spirit, living here. My blood is running in my veins. My spirit is vesting in my body. It's teaching me, it's guiding me. You hear when I say spirit ain't nothing but God. You have that same spirit, start listening to it. God is always out here guiding you and teaching you and showing you. So that's you being a multidimensional being. I want to go ahead and break it down even more, and then I'm out your hair, y'all, for the day. I appreciate you if you're watching this. You're definitely going to get something from this, and then this continuation. I'm going to do my best, like I said, continue to tell all of my story, y'all, from me being across the world to Iraq and back, from me just being born and raised up. And like I said, me discovering that I was the problem solver and I was the answer. I am the young Heru. Heru a hero originates from Heru. Look up Asar, Aset, and Heru. That is our African ancestors. That is our father and our mother of the African ancestry family. So, and Heru was their child. So when we created, me and my wife, I say that I am Asar. She says that she is Aset. Our son says that he is king. He is Heru. Heru is the same as us. We came here to be the blessing and be the hero. So you are Heru. You are a heroine. You know, your mother and father came together, God is not a man or a woman. It's masculine. It's feminine. So God comes together to make a young God. That's our son. That's what everybody, your parents came together to make you. And that being said, we're here to deliver. And we're here to be the answer. So we're not waiting for someone to come save us or anything. We're not waiting for this white Jesus, no black Jesus, anyone. You become that person. You become Buddha. You become that mindset. You know, can you adopt that? Are you feeling it? I think you're feeling it by now. So once you understand that, you'll kind of understand that you are God in the flesh. I love his brother Kaba Kamene, look him up as well, a young mastermind in our African ancestry and American ancestry. He's helping and he's encouraging us. If you understand that you're God in the human spirit, you're the God in the human body. You're God in the flesh. You're, you're the spirit in the body. Let's say it like that. You dig? So once you understand that you are the body of God, literally, you're encapsulated in this body as the God. So I was watching some of my other brothers, Brother Rich, and if you know those guys, you see them on, but they talk about how high this technology is that we're in. I was like, what is technology? But the human body is technology. As I'm out there running today, I'm like running and going faster. Yeah, I couldn't run years ago. A year ago, 6 months ago, I wasn't running like I wanted to. Hurt, my body hurt. The human body and human technology is amazing, and it's encapsulated, it's made and fueled by God. Everything we walk around is. So, like I said, we always giving praise to the Most High. Always being grateful and thankful. That's why you're always navigating and you're always getting blessed. That's why I'm staying my blessed. I mean, I think that's why God is always saving me for everything. I got hit by a car when I was 4 years old. I got diagnosed with multiple sclerosis at, 28. I just cured it at about 34, and I'm still have to get to heal that the rest of my life. I just got another car accident at 34. God saved me through everything. Everything. How and why I see that we are multidimensional beings is all of that is to get to this. The dimensions of y'all, the dimensions of you. I call God y'all sometimes as well, coming from our Jamaicans. You know what I'm saying? Our Rasta. The Rastafari. The dimensions of you, the dimensions of God, the all. I call God all as well. The high. The most high. And how we can say and see that we're the most high, we're living in dimensions. So the first dimension is the fore and aft. So if you break down dimensions, you can only go forward and aft. Aft is backwards. So I learned that with drones and stuff. There's a whole another language. There's so many different languages out here, y'all, that we can get on other than the English language, or that are supplemented by the English language. And so once you communicate and start developing these different styles and these different speaks, it'll benefit you. Like I say, I don't call a day a day. I call it, I'm not walking around in the days like Dr. Beatz say. I walk around in the joy. I enjoy. We're in the joy of life, so we enjoying. We enjoying life. We in the joy. So I don't call us week a week. I'm not getting weaker every week. I'm getting stronger. I call it strong. So in the day, and it's the joy, and in the week is the strong, and the cycle is the month is a cycle for us, and then the rotation, the whole year is a rotation around the sun for us. So that's how we speak. Once you develop this language, you can be able to go fore and aft. But when you don't understand the language that you need to speak or understanding things you want for yourself, you're pretty much staying stagnant. You're just a first dimensional being, which is just forward and backward. Second dimensional beings. So second dimensions create forward, backwards, left, and right. Now that's a 2D plane. You will see on cartoons, anything you're watching on TV, it can only go forward and back, left or right. That's just 2 dimensions. 3 dimensions. You're going to create now forward, back, up and left and right, up and down. Now we can go into and out of the dimension, or into the space of the dimension. That's creating space. Fourth dimension. Fourth dimension is diagonals. Now we can create angles in space, so we can travel to. So instead of just going up and down, forward and back, now we can go here or go around. You know what I mean? In space. Now we're creating this third dimension. Let me describe it to you guys. First D is a cable. When it first came out, we had those antennas. Then it became 2D. They started to do with a 2-dimensional picture. Then it became 3D, and that's when we upgraded the TVs to 3D. Now they got 4D. You see what I'm saying? So as we were traveling, there was 4G, and then there was 5G. As we were traveling through those different dimensions, they telling you and showing you, just don't realize it, we were also traveling through those dimensions spiritual as well. So this is how you're a multidimensional being. All those places and those things were created from thoughts, from human beings, which is just like you. So you can travel to all these dimensions. Because once again, you're traveling that first dimension of thought, that low-ass thought. Somebody hit me, somebody don't like me. Get out of that mindset. You can travel yourself to a higher dimension, have a better and a higher thought. Now you're in a higher dimension. You're with God. So, fourth dimension is that. Fifth dimension it supersedes all. So fifth dimension, you're in these things, and all of the four apps, up and down, left and right, but you actually supersede the circle and the sphere, and you rise above. You're in the heaven, pretty much. And in the heavens is pretty much where I'm at right now. The sixth and seventh dimension, I've yet to discover. There's so much thing I can break down in these dimensions, y'all, and I just wanted to break that down for you real quick. We're really high and multidimensional beings. We don't always have to operate in this plane or just this one dimension. You're here on earth, but you can supersede in your mind, create a thought, and you can go to it. People telling you focus, because you focus on that thought and you want to see it happen. You're manifesting. Stay focused, stay manifested. See things as they are, not how we want it to be. What is a good example? I want to get this job and blah, 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 this and somebody, I'm waiting on somebody, I'm waiting on my taxes. See things as they are. See, okay, I didn't get that. What can I go and do now? I always put it on you. When I always did that, y'all, I'm always out here getting it, as you see. Like I said, I'm a music producer. I started there on the keyboard. Started as a musician. Music producer 10 years later. Engineer, singer, songwriter, sound designer I am. Got deals with people. You know what I'm saying? What else is there? It's so much I do in music. Honestly, sometimes I forget, y'all. I'm a composer. I compose for film. I'm a publisher. I do have my own publishing company. So then we can go into animation. Animation, I'm an animator. I'm a creator. I'm a sculptor. I can create 3D characters. I can create 2D characters. I do character design. I design characters. I design stories. I design whole cartoons. And we designing a cartoon for our son. So, you know what I mean? I'm a director of that. I'm a producer of that. And we can go and we got to hit all them titles, but if we do, I will be here all day. And then we can go into film. I do the same. You see what I'm saying? Then I'm a herbalist as well. Yeah, I smoke tree, but I smoke way more than tree. I smoke CBD. I smoke the herbs that I need for my body. I don't just limit myself to just THC. And if you are, open your minds up to some other things. There's so much more out here when I started to do it. And I seen y'all that will benefit you and your body. If you need that, hit us up. We're herbalists. Clothes design, I make clothes. You know what I'm saying? Wifey, we made this. Someone designed this for me years ago. I backed it up and we made it. Clothing designer, father, I can go on and on and on. Are you saying? So I'm a multi-dimensional being because I get to sit and operate in all these things every day. I'm diagnosed with MS. I'm an MS thriver, not a survivor. So I have that. I'm helping people with that. I talk to people about that. You know, so you know what I mean? I can keep going. I just got hit by, like I said, I just crashed my car. So I have those problems. I have those issues. I can resonate with people with that and bring it out. People are bringing me up and out of it. So the multi-dimensional being that you are and what you can and do and create is something that God is calling from all of us. I invite you to go ahead and look into yourself and see how multi-dimensional you are today. How many things could you go ahead and visit or maybe think about and ponder and go ahead and create that for yourself in your life? If you start, just start. I started when I was like 10, 11, 12, you know what I'm saying, on the piano and stuff. But I'm here at 34 and I'm still starting. Just doing things. So yeah, I'm working on so many projects, working on so many things. Get into the habit of starting. And when you start, you'll eventually finish. But let's go ahead and start on our path that we're on today. Let's go ahead and not worry about they, them, whether that be your mama, whether that be albinos, the white people, whether that be the people in space, whether it be the aliens. Let's worry about and really tap into us. Because we can be worried about so many things, the rent man, the running man, the bus man, anybody. Tap into you today. Don't even worry about your spouse. Don't worry about your son, your child. Tap into you. Let's not lose ourselves in the middle of all of this. In the middle of all the things that I go through every joy. Taking this time, God told me to get on the mic and talk about this today. I take time to find and use myself. I'm getting something from this. I'm going to go back and watch this. Find the time to always live and thrive for you. Live and thrive for you. Peace and love, Ashe, Ashe. I look forward to meeting some of you one day. I look forward to what y'all have to say. Peace. As Brother Copper say, this ain't peace, we ain't divided. This is peace. Peace.